Are you lonely in a country full of people? Let's talk about it with Ochan. And
It's K Bizzle, and I'm here. Let's get it.
all right, so are you lonely in Australia, especially when there's a lot of people around you? So what is your take on that?
Look, I got a lot of experiences, you know what I mean? And I'm the type of person, I remember everything. Personally, for me, it started in school. Like, growing up in Australia, you realize, hey, my skin color is different to everyone. I look different. You know what I mean? And then you sort of get this feeling like, all right, I know I don't look like someone, and you compare yourself. I don't know if you've ever had that feeling. Like, you can see all the kids have a certain type of skin color. You can see that you look different and you're perceived different. And you be aware of that when you're moving, you know? I'll be
100%.
like, all right, I'm gonna go to the store. All right, maybe I wanna look like a certain kid. Maybe I wanna dress a certain way, but you never really fit in. And then on the other side of the coin, it's almost like, because I've grown up here, maybe I don't speak the language as fluently as people from African nations, then you don't really fit into their culture as well. So you do get this element of isolation, you know what I mean? You don't feel like you really fit in with the white dudes because you're not white. You don't fit in with the black dudes because you don't really have their culture. So yeah.
That's a crazy thing. It's like this kind of things usually starts in juniors, right?
Yeah.
It's like for some of us that play sports, this thing usually starts within the sport programs,
Yeah.
where like parents can isolate you, because they want their kids to be ahead of you, and you get some African kids that their parents probably not even they don't come to their games, and then they end up saying, oh, because their parents are not coming to their game, there's no point of them actually playing because their parents are not supporting them. But what people forget is these people left their country to come and find a better life. So their parents probably don't have the privileges like the
Yeah.
white parents. Then now this mom or dad is just hustling out there trying to make a living for their children, and their children wanna still enjoy that childhood where they can just go out there play sports and not really worry too much about not having much. But then now you got this privileged people dropping these kids. You know what I'm saying? Going like, nah, because your mom and your dad ain't coming here, there's no point of us having you here.
The thing is, right, and what you're saying is pretty cool and true. The thing is, I have actually noticed that sports is a business. And so, because it's a business, they're going to market or try to prioritize the best customer. So, if you are a family who is part of the community, who does go to the games, e.g., the Caucasians, white people, and stuff like that, then me as the business owner, of course, I'm going to invest into you more, right? And that, sorry, Mr. Immigrant child who's come over here, because yeah, you're cool, yeah, you can play, yeah, you're part of the team, but you're not giving me as much value as the Australian who's been established here for a long period of time. So you know what that means? That means I invest more in them, I give them more privileges, I give them more court time, I let them play through their mistakes, I give them more authority because they're gonna better my pockets at the end of the day. And that's the hard reality which I started realizing with sport. It's actually not about how good you are, it's about can you provide value to the business, and also are you part of the cohort, are you part of the inside circle? And the reason that relates is because I wasn't part of that.
Yeah.
I wasn't part of that because my parents have something else to think about. And this is not about me complaining, so to speak. It's about the reality of the scenario.
See, one of the things that I realized is like when you look at basketball clubs in a city, like for example, on the other side of the inner city, where it's like predominantly like white kids, right? You got parents there because they put so much money into that club.
Yeah.
So even if the kid cannot play, you know what I'm saying? All of a sudden, because mom and dad is putting $20,000 a season,
He
all of
get
a
it.
sudden he's getting 40 minutes. He's playing Big V, MBL one at
The
age of
confidence
17.
you get from that?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's crazy. So I'm
Yeah.
like, at the end of the day, us that move here from different background, we of course we are gonna feel lonely and isolated because we don't have that opportunity. We don't have the opportunity to express ourselves. We don't have opportunity to, like a child, for example, don't have the opportunity to express themselves and just be a child.
Bro, you know what's really funny about that? Like, a lot of Sunnis dudes, they come over here and it's like, in basketball, it's all about being tall and
Yeah.
lean and lanky. If you're that build, then you're the best, which is
Yeah.
basically the basketball society's mindset of this is the prototype, this is the good player, that 6'6", 6'4", jump
Yeah.
out the gym, long arms, that type of stuff.
Yeah.
And it's ironic, right, that when that player, e.g. the Sudanese immigrant comes
Become the
and
best.
he can actually have that ability, they oftentimes get minimized to a different role. How many times have you seen like a 6'5" guy, he's got the talent, he's got the ability, blah, 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 but now he has to play center, meaning he's playing the position with the least amount of responsibility. You know why? Because he's going to actually age out or make someone else not have a position on the team because he's doing more, he's taking up more space. And so what normally happens, and you've probably seen this, bro, is it's not so much as like a direct, hey, I got to take that black kid out, but it's more like, hey, let's give you less court time.
Yeah.
Hey, let's give someone else the more responsibility here. Yeah, you might train harder. Yeah, you might be able to jump out the gym, but we just want you to be a screen and roll guy. We want you to do a minimal role, and we're gonna let you, the other person, e.g. the person who has more established, has the family network, because that's our business. If we start seeing this team turn into a black team, an African team, then what's that gonna do for my white customers? So that's where it actually starts. That may not be racism, but it has elements of it, because you're basically not going towards who's better at something. You're going towards, hey, this is survival for my race because the black guy's gonna be better. They're gonna breed us out.
Yeah, 100%. Nah, that's
Rubbish.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Like seeing a lot of these guys to a point where some of these guys end up quitting basketball, get into drinking. You know what I'm saying? Like, because somebody just shut their dream down. Like, this is it. Imagine, like, you being the fastest, you jump higher, you're stronger than everybody, and then all of a sudden they're putting you as like a wing player to just, a wing player usually have a lot of responsibilities, but now you just chilling in the corner and doing nothing.
It stunts your development. It stunts your development as a player, and it's transferable hate into other areas, because these guys, they care about sport or they care about being the best at something, and they're not able to flourish. And there's a lot of gaslighting. I said it, a lot of gaslighting in sport. Hey, just work harder, run faster.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, there's levels to it. There's like outside your scope, outside your ability to control the circumstances is, well, we're never going to put him on. No, we're never going to send him on that trip. No, we're never going to let him play through his mistakes. And that even happens at the men's level, at adult level, and that happens with juniors. It's like conditioning.
100%.
Right? You're conditioned to not outshine your master type thing.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean? You're conditioned to not outshine your master. And you have two choices. You either rebel and take your risk and take your chances that they'll see you for who you are and then get kicked off the team, like I've been many times, or you conform. And when you conform, then you get put in a position where you don't get to flourish and be heard, because you have something more to offer. You're more passionate, you're faster, you're stronger, you're more talented, or you care more, or you're willing to take the challenge. But that doesn't mean anything, because it's for the team. That's the gaslighting.
Yeah, that's what they
for
tell
the
you.
team. It's not for the team. It's for you to have a place and me to be minimized.
Yeah. Now that's crazy. That's why at the end of the look, man, this is why we always end up feeling, alone out here, because it's like now you just stuck within this thing, and it's not. Let's move away from sport for a minute. Yeah. You get this from workplaces, you know what I'm saying? You get that from workplaces. You get that from schools, where they isolate you. Like, for example, you can get a good grade, all of a sudden, nah, there's no way you should. They just go like, nah, there's no way you should be getting A. Hell yeah,
bro.
You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker go like, nah, there's no way you should be getting A, my boy. Like, how you getting A? And then if you explain something in a different way, like for example, there was something that I did in uni, and I was comparing an assignment to a different assignment, and then I got references from different sources to support this research, and all of a sudden, all I know is when we talk about research usually means comparing. You compare data, you compare stats, and all of a sudden, I was questioned for comparing data.
Because you didn't do it their way, the way they wanted to.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm like,
exactly.
So you go through a lot, where people go, oh, this person probably not that intelligent because they're African. Or workplaces, they'll use you as a token. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where like you are there to make the company look diversity. But you're not. They're not gonna go. You know what? You should work hard to expand your skills.
It's the politics of a scenario which is not exposed directly to ethnics, particularly black people. Nothing is what it seems to be. I know this sounds like I'm promoting fear, but I'm saying it like it is. You got hired because you fit an image which helps the company seem more diverse. Or would you prefer to be hired on your merit? Obviously, everyone would prefer to be hired on your merit, but oftentimes you're a placeholder. You're like hey, we have a black person here. Hey, we have an Asian person here. But they're not gonna, if all the 10 black people, Asian people were the best at the job, do you really think that company would hire them?
They're not getting that job.
Because it's breeding out and it's self-preservation.
100%.
You know what I mean? Do you understand that? It's self-preservation, meaning if they take my job, then I won't have anything. So I have to put these systems in place or these thoughts in place to make my stance still be heard. That's where people be like, oh, there's no such thing as racism, but that's what it is. Because if I'm better than you, I technically should get the job.
Yeah, but because you see me as a threat, I can't get the job.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Unfortunately.
So it's like, it makes it difficult because now you're working hard. You go from bachelor's, now you gotta get a master. Now you get masters.
Yeah.
No, that's not good enough. Now you get
Debt.
doctorate. You get this. All of a sudden, you're like a professor. They're like, now you're overqualified